Hello folks and welcome to the channel. This is just a short little video. It's a task I have to do and that's to put a hatch in here now that I've rigged up the cabin. If I turn it round you can just see there some of the rigging, and it makes a substantial difference to this how solid the cabin actually is. But you do need access underneath to add the rigging lines through to the anchor points. I didn't think of that at the time and I just sealed it up, but it needs to be done. And I'm also going to use this space here to put the receiver and the flight battery. It's going to need weight this way, so that's where they're going to go. So an access hatch, this was retrieved from before. It should fall through, not quite. I'm going to take a little bit more off there, I think. I'm going to put a couple of hinges here, and I've 3D printed this very simple latch which I'll install underneath, and that will allow me to get access to the receiver if and when I need to do so after the installation. So it needs a little bit more taken off that because I've got to cover it. I'll do that now, and then we'll install this hatch. Little job that needs doing before I can move on and do the final sort of prep to get this ready to do its maiden. So here we go then. I've got some iron-on covering. I don't know the origins of it, to be quite honest with you. I've taken a little bit more off here so it's a looser fit. We'll get that ironed on and folded over. I can't cut it off flush because this area is likely to be hit quite heavily by fuel, and if it's not folded over, I think they would end up parting company. Little chap in the background there watching on. If you want to see how I went about producing him, you'll have to look at the playlist. Anyway, let's get this ironed on. Perhaps a little bit too high that iron because I've been using it for adding on the dress lining, which does tend to work at a slightly higher temperature than commercial coverings when it comes to ironing it on. But there we go, that's done. Just start ease it over a little bit. Get a nice seal along the edge, and then I'll start pulling it over. Hopefully we're still in camera shot here. I haven't cut the hole out for the slot yet. I'll do that in a moment. It's working quite well, this. Such a shame that a lot of the manufacturers that produce this sort of covering have ceased trading. I suppose it's inevitable with the fall in popularity of the hobby, and certainly of those who like to build, whether it's from kits or scratch building. Most people now are really just into the flying side of things. I think that's reflected in the sort of YouTube channels that you see. There's only a handful of what I would describe as building channels. Most of the ones that you see are screwing it together almost ready to fly kits, or plug and fly, or plug and play, or whatever it's called, which is fair enough, but it's just a limited view of the hobby. I do fly foam occasionally, mainly when I'm getting a lift off one of the lads and I can throw a foam model into the back of a car without worrying about it. I'm not anti ready to fly, I'm just saying that's the way the hobby is at the moment. Right, I'm going to trim this off and then fold it round, and then we'll add the hinges and then the latch, I think. I'm just cutting off the excess. it's always handy to leave a bit excess for gripping purposes. I remember years ago there was a sort of tool you could get to grab onto the covering and pull on it, presumably without burning your fingers when you were using a heat gun. I've never used one myself, but I have seen them. Look like a pair of flat tongs. Make a comment if you've seen them before. I would like to know how you found using them. I was always curious. So I'm just cutting round the edge of the curved corners, and then hopefully we'll get a nice fold over when it comes to overlapping. So let's just do the corners first. And when it comes to the fuel proof, I'm going to use okay, I didn't want that to happen. When it comes to fuel proofing, I'm going to use a couple of different types of fuel proof actually. The 2-pack fuel proof, which is the best obviously, is going to be used in the engine bay area and around the cowl. And I'm going to use a deluxe product for that. For the rest, I'm going to use 2 different fuel proofs, but that's the subject of a different video. Right, I think that'll do the job. I'll see if it fits still or if it's too much. Well, it still falls through, that's a good sign. Right, I'll sort out and we'll start doing the hinges. Right, let's put the hinges in. I don't mind these being fairly obvious. I'm going to spray the whole thing blue anyway. And they've got to work. I'm just checking whether this screw head will be too big. No, I think it'll work. Tiny little screws these. Come as part of a pack from that well-known online warehouse, shall we say. I hate to promote it more than it already gets promotion, but the days of popping down to the model shop have long gone, I think. Okay, I'll do the same with the second one. Add it on just to make sure it works. Take it back off, put a drop of super glue into the hole because I've already weakened it, and then we'll go about putting the latch on. Well, I've marked off the position for the screws. Be careful I don't snap this drill. Very, very fine. Ask me how I know that. Yeah, exactly. We've all done it, I'm sure. Just to start off so that the screws can take. And I may put slightly bigger screws in here. Yeah, we'll see how it goes with these. I don't envisage that this hatch will get a lot of use. Those screws are too big. But it is there if it's needed. I may put a lip along the edge once again if it's needed. We'll see. Now, just trying to line this up. Once I get one in, come on. helps if you get the right point. Let's try again. I could be a coward and do this off camera, but I'm determined to do it now. Come on. No, that's not working. Try it like that. Be good if it works, wouldn't it, folks? No, I'm going to have to drill these out a bit more. Stop the camera. Well, I've cheated. Well, I haven't actually, but I've sprayed this the pale grey, and I've got 2 of the screws in, and actually they went in straight away, so should have shown off and did them on camera, shouldn't I? So 1 more, and then the hatch is in, and it just remains to put a latch on. I'm going to have to screw these back, of course, to cut the guide for the lever, but at least I know it's on. I might need to take a little bit off that side. In fact, I will have to take a bit off that side. Right, so that's the hatch. Needs a bit off there. This is the mechanism, and there's room to glue a block underneath here. So now I know that that goes on, I'll cut out a slot for the lever, glue this in place, and then I'm just going to use a balsa block as a template, pull this back, let the trigger make an indent, and then use that to put a hardwood block in. It'll become clear once I start doing it. So I'll take this back off, cut a slot in here, and then we'll come back at that stage. Okay, let's screw this back on now. Not easy, given the size of the screws. That's just made a liar of me. One on the other side. And as I say, this isn't going to be opened and shut. It's not like a battery hatch. It's going to be infrequently used. But I do need access. One more. Right. So that's just clipping the end. So I'm going to shorten that. It's a carbon rod, so it's easily shortened. Just a touch too long. So I'll cut that off, and then we'll put the block in place. Right, I've got the wooden block here, and I'm going to use some white glue, I think, because if I get this wrong with super glue, I'm in a world of pain. So put some white glue on there. This is going to be interesting. Will it hold long enough? You know, I think that's it. Let that set, and then we've got the hatch made. Might just work that. Well, there you go. Little job needed doing. Onwards and upwards, folks. Stay in touch for the next instalment.